Let me be transparent for a moment. You see, there are moments in my life that I find myself at a table, in a room, somewhere that I prayed and I hoped that I would get to, around people that I admired, people that I looked up to, and I still felt like I wasn't enough. I felt like I was not ready, that I wasn't worthy. I felt like the blessing, the assignment was not for me. But you know what? God doesn't make mistakes. Hey, it's your girl Yolanda over here at Forever Londa, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another episode of Shift, Shaping How I Feel This Week. And this week, I want you to know, as well as I want myself to know, that we are trusted for a reason. If you want to find out more, I say go ahead and stick around. I don't know about you, but I often suffer from imposter syndrome. But hopefully today, I can remind myself, while I remind you, that we're trusted for a reason. There's a reason we're in the room. There's a reason we're in the position. There's a reason we're at the table. And that is because God trusted us for a reason. We're not imposters. So as we shift this week, the first thing I want to remind myself of and remind you is that you didn't sneak into the room. You were sent. We often think that it's by accident that we're in the room or at the table. We think that it just mistakenly happened, or it just sort of happened. But I must remind myself that the reason I'm in the room, no matter what I think about my abilities, is because I was sent to the room. I was sent to sit at that table. I didn't sneak in. I was sent. Imposter syndrome makes you start to believe that you're a fraud, that you're incapable, that you're not worthy. But I beg to differ, and I need to remind myself that I have been given everything that I need in order to sit at the table. This reminds me of Moses and how Moses questioned his ability. And that's something I do. I don't know about you, but that is something that I do. I question, do I have what it takes not only to be in the room, but to have a seat at the table? Moses reminds God that I'm not eloquent. I can't speak that way. I don't have what it takes to compel people to follow you. But the thing we have to remember is that feeling unqualified, it doesn't disqualify you from God's purpose. See, God's purpose on your life is not about your abilities. It's about His ability. This is why God reminded Moses that I created you. And everything that I need you to be, everything that I need you to say, that is something that I'll give you. But as you find yourself sitting there thinking, why am I at this table? Why am I in this room? Why do I have this position? Remember, you didn't sneak in, you were sent. We must also remember that God's calling doesn't depend on your comfort level. It's about shifting. That table that we're sitting at isn't about us being comfortable. It is about us dwelling in the Word of God. Moses didn't feel ready. Jeremiah thought he was too young. Gideon asked, "Who, me?" But God never asked any of them, were they comfortable to do the task? And that's something I need to remind myself. It's not about me being comfortable doing the task. It's about me being comfortable in the abilities of God. I'm shifting here because I'm trusted for a reason. It's not about my comfort level. It's about my trust level. Do I trust God enough to know that I'm trusted for such a time as this? I'm trusted because He has purposed me and prepared me to walk into that room. He's prepared me to sit at that table. He's prepared me, regardless of what I think. He's prepared me for that position. I'm shifting. So when you feel like you're being stretched, when you feel unsure, that doesn't mean that you don't belong. It means that you're growing. It means that God has you right where you are for a reason, because you're trusting. It's about the shift. I also must remind myself when I have those feelings that I'm not worthy to be there, that I'm an imposter. I have to remind myself that God equips those He assigns. I don't always have to have it all figured out, because when I trust in God, He helps me to figure it out. I also know that my competence, my purpose, what I do, all comes from God. And because of that, I can do a lot more than I think I can. And because I trust in Him, and I trust in His abilities to have prepared me for the situation that I'm walking into, for the room that I walk confidently in, for the table that I am sitting at, He's prepared me. All that I've gone through, every situation, every circumstance, every trial, every lesson, everything that I have gone through has prepared me for the time that I'm in right now. I'm trusted for a reason, because God saw something in me, uniquely in me, to do what I'm doing. And that's why I have to shift from imposter syndrome into knowing that I'm trusted for a reason. So I need to walk with my head up, sit confidently at the table, knowing that what I have, what I bring to the table, is all that God needs for that moment. I need to take a line from Maya Angelou in her poem. when she says, as I walk into a room, just as cool as I please. That line reminds me of the confidence that I have to have in my abilities, because my abilities don't solely rely upon me. They rely upon God, because He trusts me to be at the table. Take a moment to think. Are there times in your life when you're shrinking back? Are there times in your life where you don't go for that job? You don't do the thing that you deeply desire because you feel like you're not worthy? Because you feel like you aren't prepared? Because you feel like you don't have what it takes? I'm here to let you know, and to let myself know, that we're trusted for a reason. You have that idea because of what God has put into you. So this week, every time doubt creeps in, every time you feel like you're not worthy or you don't have the know-how, I want you to repeat to yourself and say it out loud. I am trusted for a reason. I am chosen for this. I am called for such a time as this. I belong at the table. I belong in the room. And most of all, I belong at the table because God trusted me for a reason. So let's shift this week, shaping how I feel this week, knowing that you're trusted for a reason. So let me know in the comments below, have you ever felt yourself doubting why you were in a room, why you were at the table, while you were in a position? That way I can remind you that you're trusted to be in that room, to sit at that table, and to take that position. This is your girl Yolanda over here at Forever Londa. See you next time. Let's shift, everybody.